in the whip, all in the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, car in the wrist, all in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, all in the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They Ella, they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, please. I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist,
I was legit. Ever since I blew, they all on my. Hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long. I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit. Ex-slick, then hit with the. Back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these 4 things, pull out the VIP. Suck to a nut, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Ready, ready.
50, Mike 50. Army.
Hit it.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Stop your whining.
6-6, pull it high. Hey, Delta.
Mike 56, Mike 56.
Now Joe Mixon. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, Presley. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. First carry for James Conner. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 43 yards on the ground. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Ready? 25. Check 25.
Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 21. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it. You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
White 80. Jack 16.
They go back to the ground with Sanders. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal.
The running game's played a huge part in getting him down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Zach Ertz, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Boswell good with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. 2nd possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out.
And got his man complete. A big play there for the Bengals. 45 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Mixon with a first down carry. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Shoot! Watch the shoot!
Hey, orbit. Now.
From the gun again to Mixon. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Presley. He's got his man, Boyd. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Presley. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
56 the mark, boys. 56. Check 56.
From the gun, Presley. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. That pick hurts a little extra because it was 3rd down. You were already in field goal range.
You know what he's going to hear all night, all next week? Situational football. Understand what's going on, because you expressed it perfectly. 3 points were in their hip pocket. They had those. Now, those went by the wayside. You cannot make those kind of mistakes.
That's what you call a rookie mistake. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. They get 9 yards back on the run there. They're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Taking it about the 16. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position.
Ready. 10 2 stop.
Double time. You got 3 down.
Recon, 132 fighter.
On 1st down, Mixon. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check 24.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Off the play fake, Presley. And his throw is incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 4.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback, But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Looking to throw. Presley got a man. It's Ross, complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And the catch made by Johnson. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 1st and 10 is counter, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 41-yard line.
Ready? Who's 30?
Hey, keep it up. Keep it up.
On 2nd and 12, Roethlisberger. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
It's a 47-yard field goal try from here, but instead they're going to opt to go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it with Connor, and he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. Oh, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Zach Ertz with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 14-7. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll run here with Mixon, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Operating from the gun, Presley. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around. And he fires one that's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
23-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Roethlisberger will throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he connects with Ertz. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Roethlisberger now 8 of 11 in this first half. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. He's got this complete to Ryan Switzer. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. The final shot before break. Presley, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan showing you.
Looking deep for his tight end Ertz. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 23 yards on the play. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receiver's eyes when he's throwing the ball. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
9 yards to go.
White 80. Double bump.
Again, it's Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 47. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Check four.
Hard. 5.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
60 Pittsburgh. Get it.
From the gun, Presley. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Auden Tate, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Bullock good on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it first and 10. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Roethlisberger now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. On the counter now, it's Sanders. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A loss of 2 there, second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On second and 12, Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 32 that time.
And the Steeler first down.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Going deep to the end zone for Juju. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up and down.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his second touchdown on the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Boswell good with the extra point, and we are tied at 21. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it, and they'll take it out to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Mixon with it, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Once again, they run with Mixon. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Hey, exit.
56,
Off play action. Presley. Going deep downfield for Ross. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
I would dare say that these guys will have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But the last one, man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Switzer on the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Elsewhere, second half is underway up in Orchard Park. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will be taken at the 13. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Back now in Cincinnati. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now this window is running back out of the backfield. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 41-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Nixon. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Off the play fake. Presley going deep downfield for Ross. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. John Ross with his second touchdown of the game and fifth on the year. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this fourth quarter. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And they will take a 7-point lead. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, 77 yards, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point. And, oh, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Brings up 3rd down.
Ready? 60 outlaw.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. And watch the leg.
Head up.
Off play action. Presley sliding out of the pocket. He may try and run for this. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
All right, partner, I'm a defender. I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
10 yards there on a Bengal first.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Recon, 132 fighter.
They'll run on first down. Mixon, and he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Here we go.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
64, weak.
After the penalty, it's Mixon down to the 25. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Again, it's Mixon. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Mike 56, Mike 56.
Look at me. Go. Check. Look. Squeeze. Now.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Bullock's kick is good. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden, they're down.
We got this.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They start on the ground here at Sanders. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Back to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Black 20. Black 50. You got nothing to do. Black and burn.
He'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, it's Sanders. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
2nd and 6 at the Bengals' 35-yard line.
Black 20. I smell fear, man.
They'll look to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far and brings up 3rd down. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
They're going on fourth down. It's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bengals will get the football back. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for Cincinnati, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be presto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your door and I'ma catch those. Mexican, dumb make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin, but he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up, round it up, count it up. Ayy, 100s and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ayy, she want it like me, cause I like she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him. Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like them keep a score. Ayy, 6